All right,
Alright.
we are live.
Woo! Okay. Well, the prompt for this week to discuss was our thoughts on organizational culture, what types of culture you have experienced in the workplace, and if you believe that leaders are able to shape culture.
Mm.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Did any of you guys get a chance to watch the video on the Sappos?
Yes.
Yes, I did. I actually thought that video was really interesting. I want to work there.
Me too. I was like, Zappa's jobs after.
Yeah,
Are you
sounds
hired?
like the same with Google, right? Like all those companies
Oh my gosh.
who foster that creativity.
Google would be amazing. Any of those places would be better than most places I've worked at.
Did you guys watch the video, The Internship, the movie?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's
it was
what
fun.
I always wanted to work at Google after that movie.
Yes.
There's a lot of places. I feel like GoDaddy. I have a few friends who work at like GoDaddy or like even Uber. GoDaddy, it's like I don't even know, maybe like is it like an online marketing type source?
Okay, I always wonder what they actually do because I see it like every Super Bowl commercial, and I never know what they do.
Yeah, but they have like supposedly they have like beers on tap there and like a little like race course type thing for like when you're on break. I was like, I want to work somewhere cool like that.
What?
That would be awesome.
Yeah, much better.
Better than what I'm doing now. So.
Yeah.
Okay, who wants to go first?
I can start, I guess.
Okay.
So culture. Well, I think definitely leaders set the culture of wherever. Like at a workplace, like a manager, of course, is gonna, or any boss, CEO, like they're the ones who obviously created the company. They have the vision. They have what they want, and the values instilled in the people. But I think, like our book had said too, just like communicate what you want.
Right.
And I think the more you communicate what you want from your employees, from your company, the more that, practice goes into what you're preaching. So.
Very true.
So,
And I think that Tony says that in his video, right? He says that he always envisioned a company like working with a group of friends, right?
Yeah.
So that type of culture of having fun and not considering it to be work.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. And then I just think also putting in diversity, just because people have different values and ways of thinking, and they see things differently. Everyone does individually, and I think that's really important to have in a company because then you get all sorts of perspectives and ideas for what you're trying to accomplish.
Very true. I think the way that they talk to you too, like when they were talking about language in the book,
Yes.
I think that that's a huge thing that has to do with managers and leadership. And if they include like we, or if they're just talking specifically about themselves or whatever it is, really, I think that that's a huge part of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and it like sets the role for like the people underneath them too, because then those leaders, or I feel like obviously leaders create new leaders because there's always going to be, people climbing the ladder. So that's how they're going to start running, or that's how they're going to lead, which I think is an awesome thing, obviously, like having a good leader, you're going to have people underneath you who are going to look up to you and want to lead that way, and it's positive. It's definitely a positive culture to have leadership. Like they create positive culture.
Well, then you create followers with that too.
Right.
Yes.
Also, what I've talked about, you can't have leaders without followers. So.
And then they all are like revolve around each other.
It's just a big circle.
It's a leader-follower relationship because you're not gonna want to follow somebody if you don't like what they're about, or I guess how they treat their followers.
Yeah. Or if you agree with what they're saying or anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Very true.
Yeah. When I watched the Zappos video, that totally answered the question for me because Tony was a leader in there, and he set that for everybody. Like, when he said when they talked about being in an office, and he was like that he enjoys just hearing their conversation, and you can feel that without the leader actually having to say it all the time. You can feel if they care about you or if they're like a good leader, and you can tell the people that work with him enjoy working with him, and that everybody sets the tone after the leader. So the environment is just like set by him. It starts, and everybody
Well,
else
it's nice to have an
sets it.
approachable leader.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that helps a lot.
And then you can tell everybody likes the environment. I think when I worked at the scholarship office at ASU, it wasn't that the environment was horrible, but it wasn't set so upbeat like that one. So it doesn't, the leader doesn't necessarily have to set it in a bad way, but the way the supervisors set it there, it was kind of just like a workplace mode. Yeah. And so when I worked at Chipotle, that environment is very upbeat. They're constantly empowering everybody. The managers are friendly. Well, the one I worked at. So those environments are totally different, and both the leaders of those jobs set that environment. So I definitely think they set it, and then they continue it by how they train the supervisors under them, and then how they train the lower followers.
Yeah.
No, definitely. I agree completely.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch sorry, not watch, just read the one, I think it was the last week's stuff, but it was the Patagonia, or I think it was, Patagonia, of how, the leader there, I forgot his name, but I forgot what it's called exactly, but it's like he's absent all the time, so nobody really has like a boss to go to, but they all kind of like take leadership just by his absence, if that makes sense.
Right.
Okay, yes.
That was kind of cool. Like, because I feel like at least, I just feel like with me or like my workplaces, there's always a leader, and so you always have those people who don't really make decisions for themselves. They always are like asking and going up higher, and by having somebody who is a leader who's not there, they're leading by example. Like you can figure it out yourself, you can make your own decisions, So that culture there, I've never even I can't relate because that's not how the culture or the workplaces that I've worked at, the culture has been.
I can't imagine that functioning very well.
Yeah, I know. I was like, that's kind of interesting that it works out, because I feel like at my workplace it wouldn't. So that's a very specific place. But I thought it was interesting that it's.
I think it goes back to the same thing that, leaders empowering their followers to become leaders themselves. And in the end, it works because you essentially are empowering people to be able to make decisions for themselves, be able to take that. I think, what is it, Nordstrom, so there's a couple of examples in our book where Nordstrom's and other companies give their employees that not authorization, but that empowerment to make decisions on their own, to make that experience a great experience, right, between shoppers at Nordstrom's. I think another example on there was like Disneyland, the Disneyland workers being able to step up and say, oh yeah, let me make it better, let me go and get this for you, without having to ask a supervisor or having to go to the next management up and saying, oh, this is what I think, instead of you just go and you do it, right?
Yeah.
I
think it's just having a trust culture too.
Yeah. Absolutely. What else do we have to talk about?
Just the cultures, really.
I know. I'm like trying to
think because we always talk about, well, I guess it's leadership communication, but I was going to say we always talk about the leaders, so I feel like we talk fast because we know.
We know exactly, how.
Yeah, very true.
We already think about it, and it just comes like quick. We're just not good.
Yesterday, when I was at work, this is an example of that poor leadership that I had at one of my jobs. And this girl walked in. She was 10 minutes early to work. And we have like a pre-shift, 15 minutes before like our shift starts, like before people start coming in.
Okay.
And so she showed up when she was supposed to be there. And right when she walked in the door, the manager was like, "You were supposed to be here 10 minutes ago. Why aren't you here? You have 3 tables," which she'd had no tables at all. We hadn't even start our meeting yet. And she was just yelling at her for no reason. Like, and there was 5 people around her. There was customers walking by because we were already like open before. And she was just like, she wanted to walk out like right away. She's like, she's just so mean. And it's just like, she's always like that to that one girl specifically. And no one really knows why, because she's been working there for like 6 years. And it's like, why do you have to have that attitude right when she walks in the door? Like, you couldn't even say hi, like, you know, just letting you know you're a little bit late, or we're about to start pre-shift, or we started it 5 minutes ago. Like, you could have been here, or you could have given us a call, instead of just like yelling at her right when she walks in the door. Like, it was the most absurd thing that I'd ever seen. It's like, you could have easily taken her into your office and discussed this rather than doing it in front of everyone. It was, yeah, it was crazy. I was like, if you ever did that to me, I feel like I would probably just start crying, and I'd probably want to call my mom, and then maybe I'd leave, but still, it was ridiculous.
That is
that's why I will say it like over and over. I do not get how those people are managers.
Yeah.
I know. It makes no sense to me. Like, and then if that, like, someone, yeah, people show up to, like, late to work, or if that was to happen at my other job, and like I told you guys before, like, it's the same company, but she would have just been like, "Oh, hey, like, what happened? You know, you're a little bit late, or, you know, we're doing pre-shift right now. Come and join us," or something, rather than just, like, that's why I think that language is such a big deal when you're talking to people, especially when people, like, if you want someone to follow you and you want someone to listen to you and not be completely miserable, then why can't you just, like, have some respect to the people that work for you?
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like they're just miserable in their own lives, and so they need to,
like all of yesterday, like, everyone just wanted to leave because it's so awful.
I think that also when I'm looking at the prompt where it's like positive, negative, engaging, entertaining, I think that goes to for the leaders, the managers usually it's like what incentive do they have to be a good leader? Because if it's not really in somebody, like there are people that are like they love being a leader, they like care for people, and they care for the people they work with or what they're doing. So like I know when somebody is passionate about their job, and if they want to like positively move forward and just on their own, then they're going to set that, and they set the culture, they set the environment. They want to make sure that all of their workers are happy, and what can they do better. But I think when there's managers that they're just like, all right, I'm a manager, I get paid no matter what, or anything like that, that makes a leader different as well. If it's like the same paycheck, or if it's like based off commission or anything like that, then they don't mind if it's not entertaining or positive. They're like, I'm here to do my job and that's it type of mentality. So you can kind of see that. And there's managers that even if they get the paycheck and it's not based off bonuses or whatever, they still make sure their followers, you know, have a good time at work, and that's really good as well. But I think that's what you can see in different work environments, is if they want to be there themselves, or if they like truly are passionate about their job, or they like there's the jobs that want to constantly promote people and move people up, then they're gonna, you know, make sure, hey, you know, take them under their wing kind of and train them and want them to move up. But then there's the managers that don't, which I feel like they're not even a leader. So
no, that's like the place I work at. We have I work for kids. Like I like run a program, but years prior, or like still happens all the time, there's just such a turnover rate because a lot of our staff are like either in high school or they're college students, and so once they graduate, you know, obviously they move on and get like real jobs. But we have like people leaving all the time, and they want to like promote within. So they're always promoting like 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds to like positions where they're literally in charge of like hundreds of kids. and it's like they're not ready, they're not trained, they don't have that experience to be running a program or to be even an assistant program or like an assistant manager, you know, just because and I've noticed that the kids who do come in that position, you can always tell if they're like ready or not, because they just they use it as like a source just to, they like dictate rules. They don't like actually do stuff themselves. They're like, oh, well, I'm a manager, so I can just tell people what to do. And they're like the laziest of everyone, because they're just like, oh, you're going to go sweep today, or go take the kids and go do this. You know, like they're not actual leaders. They dictate what you're doing all day. And it's
They're
such a bummer.
dictators.
I think
They
that has to
are.
do a lot with personality, don't you?
A lot of personality. Yeah.
It's all
definitely.
personality. That's you know, some people they just have that, you know, I'm a supervisor now, and it just kind of gets to their head, and they forget how to interact with people, how to actually, you know, be respectful, how to, you know, take people's feelings and take them into account as a person, not just as a worker.
Right.
Definitely.
It's like, I mean, personality is like a big one. Definitely. That's what I mean by how are the people leaders. If the personality like should, it, you know, not just your work ethic, but like the type of person you are. The person who appointed you should be like, you know what, I see leadership qualities in them, like a well-rounded leader. And they're not well-rounded if that's in their character to treat people poorly. So that's because I'm sure if you go to Zappos or if you go to Google or any of those and you meet the managers, they're probably gonna greet you with a smile on your face and, you know, make you feel welcome. So
they love their job. They like get to hang out, and just, I'm sure they like love going to work every single day.
And I think that's a big part of it as well. And I think Tony says that in his video at Sapples. It's like loving what you do, right? So that you don't have to work a day in your life. Like that has a big play.
It's his culture. It's the culture of the company that he wanted. So
interact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He instills it, he communicates it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
To only have a job like that. Can't wait.
It's everyone's dream.
If you can dream it, you can do it.
Thanks, Alina.
Someday.
Okay.
Start your own business.
We are almost at 20 minutes. We're like almost at 18.
Perfect.
Cool. Awesome.
Do we have
It only
more
has to be
for-
15 to 20, I think. Yeah, between 15 to 20. So we're good on the time then.
Yeah, we're good on the time. I was just gonna say, for that report thing that we're doing, do we have to?
Oh yeah.
Yes, we should probably discuss a little bit of that. Let's see.
When is that due? Leadership? No.
So the leadership interview presentation, that's I think on our own.
That's our own one. The one that we're doing as a group is due on the 5th of August.
Yeah. It's due on the 5th.
And that's the
Yeah.
That's the only part that I have to do. I haven't even really looked. I looked at it before.
Yeah.
Really quick, I'm gonna stop the broadcast now.
Okay.
Go for it, Alina.